Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Barcast TV. It is May 18th, 2024, and this is a BPL Season 3 Group A match between Chisato and Goopy. We've got a very special co-caster on today. Zateo, welcome, man.
Hello.
Glad to hear. For those of you who don't know, Zateo, you have a YouTube channel yourself, right?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. For the most part, I've just uploaded some like replay reviews I've done as a, as a mentor. You know,
Right.
we, it's nice to have that video feedback for people sometimes, but it does take a little longer. But so yeah, I do put it up there so that they can see them.
Right, and then the follow-up question you already alluded to was just being a mentor in the Bar Academy. So if you guys don't know, that's just that mentor coaching academy we have, and available on
Yeah.
the
So
main
if you
Discord.
have questions, or you like want your games analyzed, feel free. You can like actually just post them in the academy chats of the official Bard Discord, and you put them in like a thread and ping mentor, and someone will eventually get back to you to take a look at it.
Very good. So that's available for everyone. Involved in the community. Thanks for doing that. And you ready to get into this cast?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So this is Group A, Round One. Goopy versus Chisato. Let me turn off my accessibility so we can look at the same colors, right? So
Ah,
just
yes.
Chisato spawning as the blue pieces, Goopy as the red Cortex commander. On the map, Isida's crack.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting seeing players opt more for arm. We'll see if Chisato goes for vehicles or okay, he's going for vehicles here.
It has been very cool to see ARM being picked more in the recent, seems like just past month or so.
Yeah,
Like, um, really cool to see. Is that from the balance change, you think, or just players are just experimenting more? Or
I would think it'd be because of the movement speed change on pawn specifically, because now they can go a little bit more toe to toe with incisors and deal some good damage.
pawns,
What do you think?
small pawns feel like after seeing all these games, feel like they're really snappy and like, microable. Like I've
Yeah.
been like seeing players get so much value out of those units. Like and like you said, trading into tanks with them is actually they're pretty good.
Hmm.
So, or those light
Yeah,
tanks,
they got
whatever.
that huge DPS on them.
Right, and they're like turn rate, like like that
Yeah.
is different than like on the turret turn rate. So it seems really strong. We don't see that this game exactly. Arm vehicles versus core bots, which is pretty cool.
Hmm. Yeah, I think this matchup is really kind of interesting on this map because as core bots, oftentimes want to pressure early, you know, um, at a vehicle player, and if you can pick off like that construction vehicle that's going out right now, that it can be a really big deal, really big hindrance for the vehicle player.
We gotta find it first though. They're very tanky as well. So
Yeah,
if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken,
right.
and an arm con can um out reclaim a grunt before it kills it. So it's they're pretty strong.
Yeah, you have to be very sneaky about it.
Let's take this
Yeah,
grunt.
mostly it looks like Goopy's doing more of a defensive play with it right now. I'm not sure how that's going to match up with the aggression of the vehicle player, Chisato.
Right. He's getting his second con out. Goopy's going for his third con. That was a nice little micro trick walking it behind the factory.
Hmm.
Going for a resbot even. I don't know if I like the resbot on this map specifically. It's like there's just I think not enough
Yeah,
energy.
there's just not that much E to go grab, right? And
Yeah.
there's no rocks, so I mean it's going to be nice to have do some resurrecting. Gonna resurrect that blitz right now.
Right. Okay. Let me turn off these spectators. Excuse me.
Oh, yep.
All right. Well, it's like 110 metal, right? I mean, that could be another constructor, or just of course, three more grunts.
Hmm.
We'll see if he gets some value out of it. Like, okay, already kind of playing for itself, right?
Right.
But right now, it's like, ooh, our economy stalled. So how about Chisato here? Take a look at that player view. He's got 3 cons expanding. This looks really good compared to our man Goopy, right? He's got the same thing, but of course there's so much more build power in the arm cons.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was alluding to. Is oftentimes you want to pressure it as the bot player, but it's not as easy to do on this map.
No. Kind of narrow
yeah,
even actually, right? Like there's not many not many choke points to get through really. It's like you just have to lock down these 4, right? So or rather watch.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to defend, and like because of those hills, it's like bots often even have to go around them. So it's like there's really only 2 main fairways, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit easier to defend for a vehicle player.
I will say, as a bot player, it's like abusing this hill here is pretty important, and even the one behind the main as well. Right, just getting units up there is pretty annoying.
Right. That's definitely the hard part about being vehicle is like, what do you do about those mexes on that hill and bots running up and down those hills.
So actually, a beaver can go up those. So
I discovered that just the other day. I never even thought about doing that, but that's like pretty OP.
It is fairly slow. Like it's like
yeah.
Second,
it does what it can.
Second mech detonated over here from Goopy. Just a little bit of economic damage. What is that? Rover's like 30 metal, is it? 31? So definitely paying for itself.
Yeah.
I think Goopy's gonna get a con here. Really nice play, actually. Shoos away those 2 blitzes with this pressure here on the other side of the map.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I mean, I think he has quite a bit of catching up to do with that, but that's definitely a good start.
For sure. Is he gonna press this little advantage here? We'll see. He's gonna start backing up, kiting these blitzes here. A little bit of scuffle on the right side of the map. We can see that on the mini map there. Really nice LLT positioning here from Chisato, actually.
Well, there's some nice pressure from Chisato in the back of Goopy's base as well.
Yeah, single rover getting what, like 3 mexes? Wow.
Yeah.
2 kills. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, I don't know if Goopy's doing enough to like protect his backline there.
Oh, oof. That was a nice trade for our blitz player there. Cleans up a lot of those grunts.
Yeah, that's just like the power of a vehicle, right? You can just like get a ball of them and then they just like kind of crush grunts and pawns.
Right. The blitzes can shoot over themselves, right? And the grunts have to shoot in this line. So when you get stacked up like that, they can trade really efficiently. So already feels like a bit of a disadvantage here for Goopy. He's down on metal income, it seems. Yeah, it was 2K metal difference here. There's so many blitzes. What is that, like 20 blitzes? 18 blitzes, so... No transitions as of yet. Just still trying to cap these mexes in his bottom quadrant, we could say. Right? Chisato's already capped those, was it 12 mexes? Doing a really good job actually here. Trying to fix his E issues. He's got a little bit of metal in the bank. It's like wins at literally 2 on a 20 wind speed map.
Yeah, they're both kind of in an E situation. I find that pretty interesting that a lot of really good players will still run into E issues once in a while.
Right. I mean, it happens on like 20 wind speed. You might consider that like a wind map, right? But yeah, even with making the energy storage, he was forced to make a couple of these solars and just to recover out of that. It seems like Wind's kind of recovered for the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start reclaiming these here in a moment. With a full E-bar and energy storage, right? So.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a pretty big difference in 1v1s specifically. It's just there's so many more mexes that you yourself can go out and grab. And so like, to actually work up enough E to like use that takes a lot of wind. Or, you can put down like a whole bunch of solars, but then it's like, well, you're putting a lot of metal into solar, and that's not really the greatest, especially on a map like this.
Yeah, 20 is very high, right? So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I feel like it's good to like, you know, once you get, or you know, put down solars to like work up your E, but then like, you know, keep in your mind you kind of want to replace them with wind.
eventually, or even a couple of like asolars, right? I don't know what your opinion
Right.
is on that, but like, um,
I mean, I think A solars are hard to like properly transition into, but definitely a good thing to do.
Chisato's doing something really interesting here. He's actually, I saw him queue up a third energy storage even, so
Oh wow,
really
yeah,
abusing that arm wind here. Was it got 3 cons making wind at the moment, so he's kind of really exploding with that at the moment, doubling
right.
goopy here in energy income even,
Mm-hmm.
or nearly doubling, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised Goopy hasn't taken those back maxes yet. Those two on the hill.
Right, you think that's kind of like a gimme as the bot player, you know? It's like you get
Right.
the 2 free mexes over your vehicle.
It's like such a safe spot against the vehicle player.
Mm-hmm. Chisato actually made that amphibious con we see. Just popped that out.
Ah, yes. He's actually going to be grabbing that first, huh?
Got some stouts for making their way out into the field here. They're going to be running to a couple of exploiters here. Don't think they're going to get too much damage done. Just run by on the bottom side though.
Exploiter's OP tanky.
Yeah, for now, right? Like, this is not a good trade. Yeah, these grunts are kind of getting caught up on the hill here. Can't abuse their superior range.
Yeah. Now that Goopy's a bit behind, what do you think he needs to do to get back into this game?
Oh man, what? That's a tough question here, because like you pretty much have to all in. Like he's almost past the point of no return, it seems, right? Like so, it's like take all your grunts, attack down this lane here, and land your commander there, right? And just hope, hope
Yeah,
you can
just kind of go for the all in, right?
Yeah,
I would agree. I mean, it's definitely hard. You know, usually as a bot player, like, you know, one of the advantages is being able to, you know, get out some cheaper cons to go out and like grab the mexes while you apply pressure. But like since he wasn't able to do that,
right.
and you got to out expand it, it's like the vehicle player's just stronger because tanks are you know, in direct fights, tanks are pretty strong.
I think Chisato is in his comfort zone right now. He's got, you know, 6 construction turrets up, transitioning into air. He's got a 1.1 E per tick, you know.
Yeah, this has gotta feel great for Chisato. I mean, he did so much raiding in the back. He's got to feel good about it.
Right, his mexes still aren't taken, so.
Yeah, if you grunts got into his base and killed what, 3 wind turbines?
Right. Air OP. The bombers coming out from Chisato here.
Well, at least he saw it. He has some good information then.
For sure.
Let's see what his reaction is.
I mean, I've been on the receiving end of these mid-game bombing runs, man. I'll tell you what, they if they get in undetected, they can straight up win games, right?
Yeah. Well, and bombers can take a few shots from nettles, so you got to be really careful. Like either, you know, it's like really easy to overspend on anti-air or underspend.
Right.
But I think once you see it, it's kind of better to overspend, right? Because they kind of committed a bunch of resources and time to it.
I mean, Chisato told me don't bother with metals, just make fighters, right? Like every.
Yeah, you could just do your own fighter transition. Great response. Probably the strongest response, honestly.
Excuse me, he said either or, like either you commit to no fighters, only ground-based anti-air, or you like.
So like it's the idea of like doing both is too much.
Maybe like. If I don't want to, I'm not sure how he would answer this, but I'm thinking it's like he prefers like making figs, right? But it's because they're mobile and like cheap and efficient, right? But like if you're going for if you're not going to be making the air lab, it's like you have to put AA in your army, right? Put AA everywhere, like everywhere on the map, right? It's like, so
Right.
it's like you have to put nettles everywhere. So
Yeah, that becomes a challenge. You got you got to have builders running around everywhere. But yeah, this is a nice pressure from those banshees.
in the back, and it's not like he can go air himself to kind of shoo these away. Banshees are very weak against enemy fighters, right? But if you can't afford the transition, it's kind of hard to stop
Right.
abusing
Yeah,
him.
Goopy's not really in a position to. He's this is kind of a play from Chisato to like kind of close the deal, right?
Seems like he's getting a lot of value from these bombers even. So see Goopy's knocked down to 400 energy per tick here.
Yeah, and he's even got those medium tanks in the back as well to like continue doing damage once anti-air goes up. But yeah, Goopy trying to make something happen here, but he runs into a lot of tanks, and he calls it.
Calls that, taps out, types of GG. So gonna be going to game 2. Really nice play there. Great macro, of course, from the reigning Pro League champion
Alpha Cup champion, yeah.
and Alpha Cup champion, right? So Chisato's definitely made a name for himself here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't know if you had a chance to play with him in team games at all, but I think his reputation is just being super greedy, right? Making APHIS, but
Yeah, I've seen a few games, but I don't know if I've played with him. But yeah, super greedy. Just like tons of APHIS.
yeah, it's kind of a meme, right?
Crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And he does it really efficiently too. I mean, I think that's what makes him like above the rest, right?
yeah, he's really good at I don't want to say cycling the E, but like taking the steps from like the T1E to transitioning to T2 to T3 is not just adding on more energy. It's like reclaiming your old stuff, right? Making energy storage, like spreading your nanos around, doing things really efficient. Which he's great at, right? So here we are, game 2 on Fallondale. Chisato spawning in the bottom right corner. Man, Goopy in the top left. What do you think about this map, too?
Oh, I was just gonna ask you. I'm a little bit less familiar with this map, to be honest.
So I can maybe quickly say, I think it's got a lot to do with commander initiative, right? So it's like in these spawns, like you can move your commander this way or this way, and your opponent can do the same thing. And sometimes it can get a little awkward if you both go to the same hill at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Another thing we'll see is like close position spawns on this map, and then it's like even more tension, right? Just the two comms will like walk this way. So
I see, yeah. I could see that. But yeah, we have some cross positions this game.
Exactly, but it's like cross position on a super small map, right? So it's not like sorry to.
Yeah, it's not like huge rush distances or anything like that. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
we'll see what corner these guys go to. I mean, I think what you say is, what I've witnessed in the few games that I've seen on it. Like people either meet in the corner or they're in opposite corners, and it's just like, how do you deal with that?
It's personally, I like to figure out which way their commander is going early, and then just go the opposite way, right? So, because I don't like to meet in the middle. Like, I just
well, it's a risky thing, right? It's just like, is the player gonna all in you and go for your comm or not?
Right.
It becomes really tricky. And if you're good at that, then more power to you. But if you're not, if you'd rather do a macro game,
not my style.
You might as well go to the other side, right?
Yeah.
And I think your style is very much not the
the former
the commander walk kind of style.
Yeah. Pretty mirrored builds here. Not quite Resbot first from Goopy, but I like to see that from Chisato. It's so strong in this map because, for instance, like your E is not super high at the moment, and you have these like 1,000 energy trees all around your base. So
it's definitely a Resbot kind of map, right? Because you have a bunch of trees, and then you also have a bunch of rocks. So there's like a lot to do.
Something in my own games, it's like, yeah, you go for the reclaim in your base, of course, but then there's the two opposite corners, right? Which I don't see a lot of players contesting these, but it's like I mean, that's 270 metal and 220 in like two of these corners, right? So that's nothing to scoff at. Another 60 sitting over here. I mean, there's a lot of metal on this map. So
Yeah. Do you ever see have you ever seen it where two players or the someone gets like two res bots and go just like guns it for those opposite corners?
I mean, I do that in my own games, right? But I haven't seen
Okay.
many players do that. Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it. It's just like people go for the rocks in their base first.
on
But
Chisato's got
it's just an idea.
like two res bots out already and a con turret finished. So really strong play here. Spent that starting
Yeah,
metal.
that's a really good opener.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea here. I mean, the rush distance, yeah, the rush distance isn't like crazy short either, so it's like kind of hard to do a lot of early pressure. And if you do, you can just crank out some grunts yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Already getting into energy storage. I think I even saw him reclaim one of those basic solars sitting right here.
Oh, that's crazy. That's such a high level, decision making, thing to do. I don't see like any players like consider that this early on.
Very
Maybe
early.
that's why he's a winner,
Oh yeah.
champion.
I mean, also like this energy income is a little deceiving, right? Because it's like what plus 60e, plus 60e. So that's around that like what 300 energy per second
Mm-hmm.
threshold you would see. But even going for the second construction turret, right? So I mean, look at this like really nice play. Goopy managed to get his own turret up, moving out with his commander, pretty similar. So fairly mirrored builds here.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to come down to where are the grunts at.
Right, we can
see.
zoom out, take a look at the map, as a whole here.
Yeah, Goopy has a nice, well, I mean, they both have nice spreads, but Goopy is a little bit more out there, roaming around a bit.
Yeah, I would say
getting some good scouting information.
I agree. Right, nice forward position here with these grunts. Looks like he's like rotating to the left side here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Goopy knows about this pack of grunts over here that escorted this resbot to the corner. So, really, really cool to see. See, Goopy's a little unlucky here. He's scouting the top right corner for that resbot.
Yeah. His own resbots are starting to come out a little bit more too. Start resurrecting, I suppose. Get the army advantage.
Even here, I would reclaim these, right? Like you're kind of hurting on metal, right? You have a decent amount of build power in your base. Like you're trying to get up this second con turret, right? So that's just me. I don't hate rezzing. Wow, that was not the best trade.
Maybe.
Sorry.
Do you? Do you hate it?
I think I think it's more like players res when I see more often than not players rezzing when I think they should be reclaiming. I'll say that. So, that was a huge trade there in the middle, though. Sorry, the battle was going on when I was ranting about res bots, but like.
But yeah, it didn't go so well for Goopy, so he lost a lot of those grunts. But he's charging forward with his commander, takes out the exploiter there. He's soaking up a lot of damage from his commander, but it goes down.
That was wild. I feel like maybe he had to make a move there. He was definitely going for the comp push, right? He was moving across the middle of the map, so it's like you don't see that too often. Chisato's already made it to like top right with his commander, so
yeah. Well, I think like after that he lost all those grunts. Like there was just such a big wreck field that he kind of had to fight for it,
right,
in some way. And so he goes forward, sees the exploiter, deguns it because he kind of feels like he has to challenge the wreck field, and yeah, just gets overwhelmed at that point.
That was a great control. Great control from Chisato there, kind of stepping in front of the exploiter, just having his grunts in the right position, or even having an exploiter built there. So that's a great spot. I think he must have made it here on the high ground, which is cool. The little grunt can stand up here all protected, right? So, yeah, that was a short series. Chisato advances to the next round. Which,
yeah, that was like really short.
Right. Quick little 2-0 there.
Yeah. Yeah, that means Goopy's gonna come down or go down to the the losers part of the group. And play against whoever is there.
I think that's the loser of Alt F4 and Kuchi. So
Oh yes, that's right, Kuchi.
I'm
I
assuming.
remember all these groups going on.
Right. So thanks for making it to the end, everyone. If you can, hit the like button, leave a comment, let us know how you like these kinds of videos, and just let us know if you're hyped for the rest of the round of 16.
Heck yeah,
Cool. Thanks, Sateo, for coming on. I'll think we'll be doing
you
one of these
bet.
soon, right? So take it easy.